This is my movie review on King Kong Skull Island. Now, first of all, I want to start this off by saying thank you for the great support on the previous video. I think it has like 170 views already, which is probably like the fastest amount of views I've ever gotten on a video, at least for like the first like day or two, which is crazy. The first like 13 hours, it got like 80 views. I don't know how, but that's amazing. So going into King Kong Skull Island, I kind of knew what to expect, because Godzilla 2014, I really did not know what to expect. But Skull Island, I had seen a lot of clips from it, and I kind of like knew the general story, so I kind of knew what was happening. I really, really enjoyed this like, a lot more than 2014. It reminds me a lot of Jurassic Park 2, because basically in that they go to an island that's kind of already been infested by dinosaurs, and it's kind of like they're in nature with the dinosaurs instead of them being in cages like a zoo. And that's kind of like Kong Skull Island. They're not the kaijus aren't like ravaging through a city. They're actually in the nature with the kaijus, or you know like the titans like King Kong, the skull crawlers, Mother Longlegs, things like that. And I like this a lot more because they actually showed you the kaijus, because they didn't before. Basically, like, it's 2014 is the first movie, so we're all just little babies. They're playing peekaboo with us, showing the kaijus and then not showing them. By the time of Kong Skull Island, we're old enough to not playing peekaboo with us. They're just showing the kaijus, and it's a lot more graphic, and it looks really cool. Like, King Kong, he like rips a skull crawler's tongue out, and like its organs as well. Or there's what I really like is this guy, he's like sitting alone, and then you just see the skull crawler jump out, like he moves his head to the side, like that, and his mouth basically just eats the camera, and like there's like blood that goes across on his dog tags. I think it's on his dog tags, and you can kind of just see that, which is cool. And then he like barfs him out, pukes him out later, and you can just see a skull with the dog tags on it. So that's where they figure out, oh, the guy is dead. There was also because I knew all the creatures: the bull, the skull crawlers, King Kong, the mother Longlegs, all except one. I did not know about it was like this weird like log creature, basically like a big stick bug, and it just looked kind of cool. It didn't do much. It just sort of stood up and walked away. But I don't know if I really have any complaints for this movie. I did not know it took place in 1973. I thought it took place in like 2014 or something, like right around the time that the Godzilla movie was happening. I didn't know it took place in 73. I thought the story was interesting. Like, the people get here, they obviously see King Kong as a threat, and then they learn that he's actually good. And I really like how they learn this. They go to these people who don't communicate by talking. They kind of have like a translator in a way of this World War II pilot who crashed, and he basically shows like almost cave paintings they have on the wood about how Kong is the protector of their island from the skull crawlers, which I didn't really know about. And I thought the skull crawlers just lived on the island, but turns out that they actually live in the Hollow Earth, because this is where they introduced that. And that's what the bombs do. They actually release the skull crawlers, which is cool. And even from the very beginning, you start getting that division, because some people are reluctant, like, should we really be dropping bombs on this place? So then later, the group is going to go and find one of their lost soldiers, who's the guy that got eaten by the skull crawler. And so when they figure out he's dead, the guy who Samuel Jackson is playing, he's like, no, we're going to keep pressing forward. So then they realize you're just trying to kill Kong. So they light up an entire lake, and it looks quite cool, honestly, because Kong's just in there in like the fire. And then one of the coolest scenes happens. So the big skull crawler awakens, and Kong's really hurt. He's like laying on the ground. But basically, so the guy who's playing Samuel Jackson, he says, "Die, motherfucker!" And then Kong just slams him, just his guts just splatter everywhere, and it's just, I don't know, it looked like really cool visually how he just kills him like that. Also, one of the coolest things, I think it is with the big one, he like gets on Kong's arm or something. Kong's holding him like that, and he's just like kind of suspended midair. He like wraps his tail around Kong. So the movie looks way better. There's a lot more gory, and it just looks so much nicer than 2014. It was actually my favorite other than Godzilla vs. Kong. So if I were to rank the 4 movies, it'd be Godzilla 2014, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla vs. Kong. I will say, when I watched King of the Monsters, near like the last like 30 minutes, I was like quite tired. So my memory is a bit more kind of blurred from it, but I do prefer Kong Skull Island because I like nature stuff like that, and they're kind of more out in nature there, so that's why I enjoy it more. You also just get to see a lot more kaiju's, and the mother longlegs being introduced is crazy. You just see this guy with a leg through his mouth. It's insane. Because I didn't actually know her legs looked like bamboo shoots, and it's cool they like just cut her down. I'm trying to think of, because I want to give both sides of the argument. I'm trying to think of complaints I have for this movie. I really don't have any, because it doesn't even take that long for them to introduce Kong. They only show Kong fighting the big Skullcrawler. They show him fighting it twice, I believe. Like when it first awakens, and then he comes back and he throws a propeller and it jams in here, and then he, rips its tongue out and kills it. And then he does show him like taking on 2 Skullcrawlers and killing them pretty easily when the World War II pilot is explaining what the heck the Skullcrawlers are. So I wish they showed maybe like a little bit more with the small Skullcrawlers. They could have shown more with that. But the way they introduced Kong was really cool because they have a Japanese plane, an American plane. They crash into the island, and the Japanese guy chases the American guy, and so then they're on this ledge, and then Kong just here, wait, there, he grabs on, he comes up here, and it's really scary. I thought the Japanese guy died. I don't think he did, because the way the American guy, it's made it sound like they were friends, and then he died, so it was kind of like they rebonded afterwards. What is interesting is you can see how Kong grew, because that was 44, and then the movie takes place in 73, because you go to that same ledge later on, in 44, he has to, here, it's kind of difficult to get this on camera, but he has to reach up to grab onto the ledge. But I think in 73, he's just standing there and his head's already, up here. So he didn't actually have to reach up. And that's basically, everything I have to say about the movie. I thought this review was going to be shorter than the last one. It was basically the exact same length. But thanks for the support on the last one. I want to say that again. I don't really have any complaints for the movie. Probably are some, if I watched it again, maybe. But I thought the movie was really good. It's, my second favorite one in the MonsterVerse so far. I think the new one might top any one before it. But yeah, that's going to be it. Bye.